Hey there, everyone. I have the head coach of Fort Bend, Travis, Trey Sissom, on with me. Coach Sissom, long time no see. How's it going?
We're doing well. Like I say, excited to hopefully get some good news from UIL and our district and get back to doing some football.
And we did get some good news saying that, football is for now hopefully coming back. As 4A, 1A to 4A is getting to play. They pushed back 5A and 6A a couple of weeks. But how excited are you guys for, the fact that there is some hope and there is some light at the end of the tunnel that we might actually get to be playing football?
Well, that's the key word you said there is hope, and that's what we've always talked about with our kids. We've shut down SAT camp before 4th of July, so we haven't seen our kids in over a month. So just the fact that, like you said, the light at the end of the tunnel, that we're going to get back with our coaches, we're going to get back with our kids is awesome. UIL, our district executive committee, and then obviously Fort Bend ISD, they've been working hand in hand trying to figure this thing out. And we've got the good news that our superintendent is going to let us start back up on September the 7th with the UIL guidelines. And, my parents are excited. Our kids are excited. And I think our coaches are probably more excited than anybody.
And we'll talk a little bit about your football team that you had last year. Fort Bend Travis put together one heck of a season. There's no other way to put it. Going 10-0 and dethroning Ridge Point to take the district title. Talk about that team that you guys had in the 2019 season and how that momentum really just kept going all season long.
Yeah, it's you kind of look toward the special group of kids that we had when you start handing out all the success that we had and the accolades that come with it. Obviously, our quarterback and our receiver that we had, Eric Rodriguez, is going to play at A&M Commerce, and then Parker Washington's off to Penn State. They're already there, getting ready for hopefully their 2020 season. But they really led us on the offensive side. But I think probably the biggest thing that was different for us was our defense really played well. We had a lot of guys up front, in Jamani Gibson, who's going to Central Arkansas, and Pat Brown is going to join Eric at A&M Commerce as well. Those guys really led us up front. And, it was a total team effort. Anytime you can go 10-1 like we did, there's a lot of little things that go into it, and I don't think you can really put your finger on one. But we had such a great group of seniors that had really come together over the past 3 years, blending into their varsity season, and it just made it that much more special.
And you said it, you guys had a great group of seniors, but you also graduated a lot of seniors. Like you said, you lost your quarterback in Eric Rodriguez, who was the district MVP. You lost Parker Washington, who what literally was a human highlight reel. Do you feel like you have the replacements to help you get back to that top spot for the 2020 season?
Yeah, I think, that's kind of the tough spot with us not having spring football and summers and all the things that we've been kind of put on the shelf a little bit. That's normally where you would fill those spots and answer a lot of those questions. We love the kids we have coming back. We've got Andre Smith, who's one of our running backs. He's going to be more of an all-purpose player for us. He's a 3-year starter for us. And then I think the biggest thing on the offensive side will be up front. We've got 2 really, really talented kids coming back up front, and then we're going to replace some of the guys we lost with some juniors that are probably as talented as we've had come through. So we're excited about what we do on offense. I think one of the good things that we've shown is really, it doesn't really matter who's in there at times. We think we're going to be successful just because of what we do and how we do it. Defensively, we're bringing a lot of kids back on the back end, which is exciting. We've got Cameron Oliver and Cameron Moore, both big-time players. Cameron Oliver just committed to UNLV this past week, so we're excited for him. He's had 14 interceptions over the last 2 years. He's 2-time first-team All-State. So, we're going to probably have to lean on our defense a little bit more than what we have and let the offense kind of mature and grow a little bit. But luckily, like I say, we're going to have a couple of non-district games now going into district, and we feel pretty good about what we got coming back.
And you just talked about your defense. Your defense is a little bit young up front, but you've got a great secondary, like you said, led by Cameron Oliver. It is 7 picks last year. Phenomenal. How confident are you in your pass defense and how they can shut down some of these explosive offenses that you'll be going against?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that and especially in our district and the kids that we have to see. Everybody's got skill kids, so you're going to be playing against Division I wide receivers every week. So you got to have kids on the back end that can defend and can match up, and we feel really good about it. Mason Muchow is another kid that played safety. He's a backup quarterback that we moved to safety last year, and he matches up with Cameron Moore. So those guys are really are going to have the onus put on them early on, because we're going to have to take our lumps up front. We've got a lot of young kids coming back. We feel good about them, but they're untested. And obviously, it's kind of one of those things. Until you get a varsity game under your belt, you're still a JV player for the most part. So we're gonna lean on them. And obviously, our first three district or non-district games are spring and Foster and South Falls. So it's not like we're not biting off a whole lot there to start out with. But they're going to be tested early on, and hopefully we can learn from it. And we're going to make our mistakes, but it'll be good for us leading the district for sure.
Hey, not an easy non-district schedule you've got there. Some of the best around the greater Houston area. But taking a look at your district, you've got Ridge Point and George Ranch. Winning another title is going to be kind of tough. How do you size up your 26A competition?
Yeah, I think that's the interesting point there was George Ranch, because they're the wild card in it. We've never played George Ranch. We're probably closer to them than we are to most Fort Bend schools, because they're right down the street from us. But I think with Ridge Point bringing the kids back that they have, Bush has always got talented kid. Elkins is going to be as well coached as you can find with Coach Brantley and his crew that they have over there. So there's a lot of really top end talent in 26A. It's going to take a battle every week. Even the teams that might not have had a lot of success are still going to be competitive when you start looking at Austin, where Coach Arabonglo, who was my offensive coordinator, this will be his second year, so they're going to be stepping up to the plate. And Clements and Dulles as well are two teams that they have great kids, and you can't sleep on the talent that they have. So we feel confident in the kids we have coming back. Obviously, we'd like to have a few more returners on the offensive side to make us sleep a little easier, but it's going to be a knockdown, drag out for sure.
And so, one of the cool things about a lot of the districts around the greater Houston area is the fact that they're very heavy for the ISD, or a lot of them are very heavy in the ISD that you are in. So you have a lot of schools that are in the same ISD. You talk to them you talk to them weekly when you have meetings and all that kind of stuff. Are there any big rivalries that you've got going in the Fort Bend ISD between you and some of your other coaches and some of those other schools?
It's kind of interesting because, coming in a few years back when I came to Travis, it was kind of one of those things where Bush and Travis had a big rivalry. It was kind of a split between junior highs is kind of how it worked out, because all the kids went to school together. Now things have kind of balanced out, but the big game obviously for us has been Ridge Point. We've been able to be competitive with them. We've only beat them one out of the last 4 years, but the one that we won last year was really big, and we've been close. So I think that's going to be a big thing. It's going to be week 11 of the season this year, so it's the last game of the season. It could come down to hopefully decide the district title at that point. But again, it's one of those things where you've got Coach Arrow sitting there at Austin, and he knows all the finer points of what we do, and all of our kids. He's only a year removed from that, so our kids kind of put that one on their calendar and circle that one up too, because they want to make sure that we leave a good mark for Coach Arrow.
Making some new rivalries with the coaching tree. I like it. So my last question is, what do you want the staple with football? Hopefully that football is coming, but what do you want the staple of your 2020 Fort Bend Travis team to be?
I think it's just, demonstrating the perseverance that we've gone through. This is obviously uncharted territory for everybody in the state, as well as the nation and the world. But our kids have been really, really resilient already. We've gone through a lot just in the past couple of years with their program, and I think this is just another one of those trials that we go through. I'm excited for our seniors. There's obviously that uncertainty, not knowing if we're going to get to play or when we're going to get to play and all those kind of things. And I look back at the kids last spring that lost their senior year in terms of baseball and softball, and our track kids, and how hard it was on them. And I hope that that we're not able to, that we're able to get through this whole thing with COVID and not experience it again. But I think that's the biggest thing, is just letting the football season and what we're doing in the fall, kind of demonstrate the perseverance and the determination of our kids to lead a life, and hopefully, like I say, if we can win a few football games along the way, that'll be great too.
Awesome. Well, Coach Sissom, thank you so much for your time, and good luck to you and your Travis Tigers in 2020.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Go Tigers.